My diet, I eat one meal at night, and that pretty much I don't really eat throughout the day. I'm gonna have like berries and stuff. Sometimes I have like some nuts and other things, but yeah, it's called the warrior diet, I think, and it's also like the paleo diet. So I don't eat anything. I don't take any like chemicals, nothing, no high fructose corn syrup, artificial, sweeteners. I do kind of get to cheat on my coffee in the morning. I get to have whatever I want in my coffee because I can't live without the coffee that I want. And yeah, it's cool. I like just a lot of athletes try to take like a lot of supplements and a lot of powders and take a lot of shots and do everything that they can get away with, but I try to make my body as clean as possible, and I think that's really the best way to go. Supplements that are within, the rules, I feel like fine, you can take whatever you want. There have been a lot of 30-year studies done on multivitamins, that actually people that take multivitamins every day have a shorter life expectancy than people that don't. So they can do whatever they want. With TRT, I feel like it's not fair. It's not, because if you have somebody who's older and their lower testosterone is lower naturally, and then they artificially raise their testosterone to be the same as somebody who is, like, say, 20 years younger, then they have the advantage of having 20 years more experience with, the same amount of testosterone. And I feel like, look, if you can't wear extra tall shoes in the NBA because you're not tall enough, it's like you are what you are, and I don't think that being able to use TRT, because what if somebody else can't afford it? Then the people that can afford the doctors and the lawyers and the whole process to get the TRT have an unfair advantage over people that are broke and struggling. And I think the whole idea behind sport, it shouldn't be, the people that have funding should automatically have way more of an advantage. And I think that TRT is one of those things where you have to have money to have it, and if you're broke, you should be able to have the same things as the fighters that that don't have funding. I also said that if I knocked her out, I wouldn't casually walk away, and I would actually go to finish it and try to punch her until she died too. Forgot that part. Look, that's what it is. It's fighting, and I've tried to be merciful to my opponents before, and they've not paid me the respect back, and so I can't trust them to do the right thing in those situations. So it just has. I think she's a nice girl, and I respect her as an opponent, but it's because I respect her that I'm not taking any chances, and it's the referee's job to stop me from killing her. And that's the way everybody should fight. I'm not trying to win a match. I'm trying to defeat my opponent as if they're trying to kill my little sister. I try to recreate mentally that in my mind every single time that I fight. And I don't think it makes me a bad person. It's just what I do for a living. I don't fight with game plans. I never do. I study what my opponent does, and I know their tendencies, and I train to be able to react to those things that we think that they're going to do. But if you walk in with a plan, there's a chance that plan could go wrong. Fights are chaotic, and I always like to be very adaptable and able to react to anything. So I always walk into every fight with an open mind. If I see someone for a knockout, I'll try to knock them out. If I see a choke, I'll try to choke. If I see an armbar, I'll try an armbar. It's just I try to win in the most effective way possible. One of the principles of judo is maximum efficiency with minimum effort. So I'm going to try and beat her in the way that takes the least amount of effort from me. So I don't want to make any fight into a brawl, because the longer it goes, the more possible things that could go wrong. The first opening I see is what I'm going to go for. I can't say what that's going to be because I'm not in the fight yet. Yeah, I watched some of the Olympics. I was watching some of the judo, and I got pissed off again just watching those referees. I didn't make it watching one judo match. I was watching these two guys, and I saw one guy get cheated out of his fight, and it reminded me of everything that angered me about judo all over again, and I walked out of the room. I couldn't stand it. With other sports, I watch a lot of gymnastics, all that stuff that's on TV. It's kind of a shame that the U.S. doesn't put all the sports on television, They only put on what they think the U.S. athletes are going to win, and it's not the Olympics of the United States. It's the whole world's Olympics. We should be putting every single sport on there, regardless of whether the U.S. is good at it or not. I love the MMA referees, man. They give me unlimited time on the ground. The judo referees, I swear to God, the reason why my transitions are so quick is because I would have half a second, sometimes even less. The second I hit the ground, they would try to stand me up because I knew I was good on the ground. Some referees knew that I was good on the ground, so they would give me extra time. And the MMA referees, they are scarcely involved compared to the judo referees. The judo referees try to insinuate themselves way too much, and I'm actually very happy with refereeing in MMA. It's and people complain about the judging, but you know what? If you let it go to a decision, then you let it go out of your hands. And if it's out of your hands and out of your control, you can't really. You have no one to blame but yourself for letting it go that far. I used to get mad at decisions when I was a little kid, and they wouldn't go my way. And my mom would say, "Hey, look, you're American. All those referees hate you. Anytime it goes to a decision, consider it as you've lost because you let it be out of your control. As soon as it's out of your control, that's your decision. You know, you have to be good enough to win every match twice on a bad day." That's what she would always tell me, and I try to still follow her advice to this day. I was doing a lot of press for leading up to the Misha fight, except for I was doing a lot of the organization myself and scheduling myself, and it was a lot for smaller media outlets. And now I have what's it called? It's kind of like on a bigger stage now, but I don't have to do as much of the organization or whatever. I feel like it's the same amount of work. It's just different a little bit, and at least I'm not working a bunch of different jobs, and I'm not driving around in a car that has one window working and no air conditioning. And things are a lot easier in some ways, and things are harder in other ways. And I consider myself an extremely adaptable person, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be, and this is how I'm going to have to fight.
Unless any shout out to the Swedish fans out there in Sweden.
What up, everybody in Sweden? Hi to everybody in Borås. I really love your boots. My favorite boots ever I bought over there. Your guys' taxes are too high. I'm not really into that part. But hey, everyone in Sweden, I think you're cool. And I hope to go back someday and get some more boots. No problem, man.
Oh my God. Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.